Hello, good morning, everybody. Congratulations to the 80th anniversary of the United Nations. I, Axmed Cabdi Ibrahim, an elected member of Parliament of Somaliland, the chairman of the Committee of Public Works, Technology, Housing and Transport in the Republic of Somaliland. More importantly, I represent a nation whose sovereignty started since 26 June 1960, but illegally occupied by Somalia. Illegal occupation. I represent a nation whose sovereignty started since 26 June 1960. I write to you with profound respect and unwavering hope on behalf of this nation who are formally requesting your utmost consideration to admit Somaliland as a member state of the United Nations. Admission to the United Nations would not only affirm the rights of the Somaliland people, but also strengthen regional stability and global cooperation. We respectfully urge your office, Excellent Secretary Antonio Guterres, United Nations Headquarters, New York, 10017 in the United States. We specifically urge your office to initiate the necessary procedures to consider our application and to facilitate dialogue among member states regarding our states. We believe that the United Nations and the foremost institution for peace, justice, and self-determination has a moral and legal obligation to consider the aspirations of peoples who have demonstrated their readiness for responsible statehood. Please see the attached documents. We remain committed to peaceful engagement, regional cooperation, and the values enshrined in the UN Charter. We stand ready to contribute meaningfully to the global community as a sovereign and responsible member. Thank you. Going back to the history and the beginning of this nation, as a representative, we're in a critical position and submit this document to the Secretary General and the UN at large in specific attention to the legal office of the United Nations. We represent a nation whose sovereignty has been erased almost at the United Nations and whose rights have been consistently violated to this erosion. Procedural errors committed by the United Nations rendered Somaliland a de jure recognized country on 26 June 1960 stateless. Madagascar, formerly Malagasy, a state that gained independence on the same day as Somaliland, is listed at the United Nations. Somaliland is not. This letter serves as formal notice of complaint in the matter of state impersonation of Somaliland by that we call Somali. The current Republic of Somaliland is the same country that gained independence from the United Kingdom on 26 June 1960, and whose instruments are violated in the UN Treaty Series. Let me say about a couple of these articles that are listed within the United Nations. Number 5346, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and Somaliland. That says interim agreement for United Kingdom aid mission signed at Hargeisa, Somaliland, on 26/06/1960, coming to force on 26 June 1960 by signature, in accordance with Article 8, registered by the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland on 13 September 1960. Number 5347, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and Somaliland. Republic Officers Agreement signed at Hargeisa, Somaliland on 26 June 1960, came into force the same day on 26 June 1960 by signature, in accordance with Article 6, registered by the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland on 13 September 1960. Number 5348, number 5349, and number 5350, all are the same. Unfortunately, these treaties between the United Kingdom and Somaliland are wrongly recorded as being between Somalia and the United Kingdom of Great Britain. It's within the pages of the United Nations. There is no evidence that Somaliland transferred its jurisdiction to another entity at all, in all conditions. Furthermore, there is no mechanism under international law by which a sovereign independent state could transfer its jurisdiction to a United Nations terrorist territory that has not completed the criteria of statehood. The United Nations Treaty Series has no record of instruments of statehood of the UN terrorist territory of Somalia, if claimed independent by that moment. The other mysterious point is that there was no union that ever took place. And there is no record in the UN treaties that any sort of a union has ever taken place. So we don't know. The United Nations, however, accepted instruments of union. But we don't know where that union and where that documents are in place. We don't know who registered it. We do not have it. Somalia do not have it. But there are telltale sort of sayings. If anybody has got, then let's find it. We do not believe the UN, however, was deliberate in the erasure, but lament the damage and human suffering this fatal mistake has caused and still causes, especially in Somaliland, where citizens are placed under harsh economic sanctions based on misidentification as a de facto separatist state, which is not totally right. The UN honors Somalia's claims to territorial integrity, although Somalia believes in the irredention expansionist ideology of Greece Somalia, and abstained from the reunification of African colonial borders by the Organization for African Unity, current African Union in Cairo in 1964. There has never been a greater Somalia, but war against every nation and all over the bordering nations. Somalia irregular human rights abuses against Somalilanders are highly documented. Somalia has been rewarded by the UN and the international community, while Somaliland is shunned and sidelined. We know what happened in 1970, some sort of a drought, call it. 120,000 Somalilanders were moved to Somalia in the guise of famine relief. They were placed in camps. World Bank 1987, Devros, N.D. This campaign prosecution escalated into the Isaac genocide, a real genocide, which is known historically, or which is known politically, which is known in every aspect of life. Of the 1980s, Somalian forces bombarded cities such as Hargeisa, Burco, and many other Isaac strongholds. Even in places like Mogadishu, Isaac were hunted down. Civilians were executed in mass. Water sources poisoned. Farmland and livestock destroyed. You can find also that Human Rights Watch in 1980. Today, Somalia continues to exploit its falsely attained UN seat to position itself as the legitimate voice of the region. Once again, the Horn of Africa has become a chessboard for greater power completion. Somalia uses international recognition to channel foreign funds, particularly from China, to destabilize Somaliland. In Las Ano town, in southern eastern Somaliland, bordering Somalia, these resources have fueled conflict. In conclusion, the United Nations must also acknowledge and act of the following. Somaliland has never authorized any other entity to use its streets, legal instruments of sovereign identification. The UN must recognize Somaliland's independence date 26 June 1960 in its official origins of former trust and non-self-governing territories, accurately stating British Somaliland became the independent state of Somaliland to the date, today, the 80th anniversary of the United Nations Day. The UN must immediately cease referring to the de jure of the Republic of Somaliland as British Somaliland. After 26 June 1960, this constitutes a deliberate and significant mischaracterization. The UN is now fully informed of this foundational error. The documents are clearly stated at all the pages of the United Nations. Any further inaction cannot be considered oversight. Continued inaction will be seen as complicity in the denial of Somaliland's sovereignty and human rights. Somaliland has never authorized its instruments or statehood to be used by any other party. The UN must restore legally, peace and dignity to a nation whose lawful independence has been denied for over 60 decades. My nation, Somaliland, will continue to demand justice until this fundamental error is corrected and accountability is ensured. All attached documents will be found from every website. Thank you very much. Happy anniversary to the United Nations. Notice our motion, Xildhibaan Axmed Cabdi Ibrahim, MB Ahmed Musa Chama, Abdul Ghani, Mohamed Aaron, Ganino, Abdul Nasir, Isman Yusuf, Hirsi Abdullah Hirsi, MB Jama Abukar Muhammad, all our MBs, MB Muhammad Jama Kodbur, MB Abdul Qadir Abdullahi Mekto, MB Ahmed Muhammad Uri, MB Sulaiman Ahmed Farah Goh, as you know, MB Abdul Karim Me'ad, MB Amin Sulaiman Jama, MB Fuad Ahmed Deriye, MB Ahmed Mohammed, MB Mohammed Hussein Jama, MB Abdul Karim Mohammed, MB Bilay Abdi Duale, MB Nuruddin Ahmed Dave, and many more. Thank you.